podcast in case you have stumbled upon it and you didn't know what you're watching. It is a podcast all about knitting and it's hosted by me. So it's been about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks since I podcast. I did plan on podcasting this weekend, but there was a lot going on, so I didn't get a chance. So today is Wednesday, the 30th of August, and I'm coming to you from my kitchen in Kildare, and it is a clear evening this evening, and yeah, it's not looking too bad. So let's get into the podcast meat, if you will. So you can find me on the usual places, Instagram and Ravelry, and I'll have them linked down below. I usually post my show notes on WordPress, and I'm thinking of stopping doing that and just moving them over to Ravelry. Let me know what you guys think. If you want, I can continue doing them on WordPress, but I'm just not sure how many people are actually using them. So if you are using the show notes on WordPress, do leave a note down below. If not, I might just condense the show notes and put them in the episode thread on Ravelry, so you'll be able to check them out there. So there is a group for the podcast, which I will have linked down below as well, where you can take part in knit-alongs, and there'll just be the 1 or 2 giveaways. So I'll have all that linked below. Speaking of giveaways, I do have a giveaway winner to announce. Ellie of Skein Knits podcast very kindly donated one of her pattern clubs for the Selbu mittens, which the first pattern is being released on the 1st of September. So I hope everyone's excited for that. So I have a pattern to give away. So I have the winner here. So I did random number generator before I started recording, and the winner is number 7, who is Kiltcraft on Ravelry, who is Vanessa of the Kiltcraft podcast. So congratulations, Vanessa, you've won a pattern subscription for this club. So the prompt was, what is your favourite season? I believe. Yes, so what is your favourite season and why? And Vanessa said her favourite season is autumn, which is great because it is autumn. So she said her favourite season is autumn. It's the perfect season to get knitting on some mittens to keep her little handies warm. So hopefully you have some yarn ready to go for the mittens, because the first pattern is out on Friday. So make sure to drop me a message on Ravelry, Vanessa, and I will get on to Ellie and get her to send you the collection. Okay, so another quick admin update is around the knit-along that I'm hosting at the moment, which is the Success Cal, and I am a very bad knit-along host. So I haven't put up the FO thread, I haven't knit 2 pairs of socks in the month, which was the plan. So what are we going to do? So the plan is this. I am going to open a thread for the FOs. I know there's been some people adding them onto the chatter thread, so I'm going to pop in a message there just to let you know, just to put them in the FO thread. So I'm going to leave that FO thread open for about 2 weeks, I think, so until the next time I podcast, which will probably be Sunday week-ish time, I'd say. So I'll put a more firm date on Instagram, so if you want to follow me there. But if you are knitting if you've knit 2 pairs of socks between the 1st of August and first 2 weeks in September, you're good, you're golden, you can enter them. So you're getting 2 weeks extra, there will be prizes, so make sure you go over and join in there. You can see all the rules, there's not that many. It's knit 2 pairs of socks in that 6 week period now. It was supposed to be 4, but it's 6 now. Anyway, moving on to the knitty stuff. Yay! So we have finished objects. So I have one finished object, and it is my first pair of socks for the Success Cal, and here they are. So I started knitting these socks the first week or the second week of August. I was a bit delayed in actually starting, but these are knit out of Drops Fable in the rose print, I think it's the name of the colour. I'm not sure of the number, but I'll have it in the show notes on Ravelry. And the heels, cuffs and toes are knit out of Sweet Sparrow yarns, which is Julie in the Dusty Rose colourway. It was a mini I had, and her yarn is absolutely amazing to work with. It's really plump and lovely and squishy, and I have a whole skein and I can't wait to knit it. So it's the nuthatch base, which I think is just her 75-25 sock base type thing. So that is these. They're just plain vanilla socks, 64 stitches. What fish? No, I did an afterthought heel on these. Rounded toe, 2x2 rib. Thing too. So they don't match. So the stripes don't match, but I really, really love the colour of these and I'm really happy with them. So that was pair number 1 for the Socks Escal, and this is my only finished object for the last 2 weeks. I have been insanely busy and I feel like I've got no knitting done in the last little space of time since I've been with you. So hopefully you don't mind that too much. But we have some things to go through in works in progress, which I am going to move on to now. So moving on, I'll just go through, I may as well show you the second sock that I started for the Socks Escal. And I am knitting the Cup of Tea socks by Robin Lynn, and I am knitting it out of Fine Fish yarns. I had used this yarn initially on another sock pattern, the Love Along socks by Amy Meeks, but they were too small and they were never going to fit me, and I love this yarn, so I decided to frog them and use the yarn for these socks. So I'm not sure if you can see, but so this is the Strawberry Shortcake colourway, and it was like a duo from Fine Fish yarns, and it came with this kind of bluey purple colour, which I'm using for the heels and cuff, and I will use for the toe. So this pattern, I'm not sure if you can see it, is like I can't even describe it. What is it like? It's like fans almost, or interlocking hills almost, but it's quite pretty. So I knit my socks 2 at a time usually, and I am knitting these 2 at a time. But I took the first sock off this needle so that I could do the heel flap and heel turn, and I'm going to work them concurrently until the gussets are done. So I've got this far in this sock, and I am doing the heel flap on the second sock. So I am making good progress, and I should have these done, I'd say, by the weekend, hopefully. So this is my second pair of socks for the Socks Escal. So I was hoping to have these done by tomorrow, but I won't, so oh well. I suppose I've made good enough progress in the time I've had. So they are my sock whips. I'm not sure if I'd started this. I had started talking about it, but I'm not sure if I'd actually started the project. So I am knitting the Midsummer Haze Cowl Shawl by Hohi Logtelli, and I love it. So it is a cowl that looks like a shawl kind of construction. So this is as far as I've gotten. So I've just joined in the round. So you knit the first kind of initial part flat, and I've just joined in the round to start doing the kind of cowl effect, if you will. But here it is so far. So it moves into a lace section, so I've just done the first row of the first repeat of the lace. So still a way to go. But yeah, I think there's 4 repeats of lace on this, so I don't think it'll be too long a project once I get going, but I haven't knit on this at all this week, but I'm not sure if I showed this last week, so I said I'd show it again anyway. I absolutely adore this yarn. This is the Fawn and the Fox, Lara of the Fawn and the Fox in the geode colorway, and it's on her wolf base, which is her singles base. And it's my first time working with singles yarn, and I find it very soft, but it's because it's not plied, I don't know, it doesn't feel very strong, but it is very soft, and I love these ridges. So I love that there's like the stockinette in this pattern, and then these ridges are really nice as well. So this moves into a lace pattern, and then there is the option of fringe, which I am thinking there may be fringe to make it extra bohemian and beautiful. But I really, really love this project, and I think I will get a lot of wear out of this shawl once it's done. So that is knit. I'm using the recommended needle size, which is 3.5 millimeter needle, and yeah, I need to kind of sit down and work out the chart, because I haven't really had time to do any of that kind of focus the mind knitting, if you will. So I've only really been working on socks, and I made a start on my breakwater sweater, which I believe I had mentioned. So the breakwater sweater is a pattern by Cecily Glowick MacDonald, and it's a very basic kind of raglan sweater with side shaping or waist shaping, and just a small little kind of collar detail. But yeah, so I've only really started it, and this is my progress to date. There's a lot of tangling going on down here, do ignore that. So it's quite a loose gauge sweater. I did swatch and I did get gauge, and I am quite happy with the fabric that I'm getting, but I think I'm definitely going to have to wear something underneath because you will see through. So it's quite a light colour. It reminds me of like ice cream or something. It's very light and creamy dairy goodness. So I think this will suit me colour wise. I do well with light pale colours. Don't really wear a lot of light pale colours, but they do generally suit me. And yeah, so I've just finished the raglan increases, and I just have to knit for another few rows to separate for the sleeves, and then it's just kind of body sock until we get to the waist shaping. So it's very simple, straightforward knit. So I'm hoping to make a bit of a dent on this. So the yarn I'm using, Laura Jeannie Mac, get to the good stuff, will you? So the yarn I'm using for this is Ellie and Ada. It is Unicorns and Glass Slippers is the name of it, and it is on her 75/25 merino nylon, and it is really, really pretty. It's very kind of, there's pops of baby pink, but it's mostly kind of unnatural, kind of very lightly undyed looking yarn with pops of pink, red, and kind of green as well, kind of speckled in there. So kind of like a begonia or something, but I really like it, and I have plenty of yarn. So I'd actually bought enough to do a size up, and I didn't need to. So I realised when I started knitting the pattern that I was like, why am I knitting this size? I'm not that robust, which is good. So I've gone down a size, so it should knit up quicker, which is super duper. So I'm knitting this on the recommended needle size again, which is the 4.5 millimeter. So I am getting quite a loose pattern or loose fabric. So it should be nice and drapey, hopefully. But yes, that is my progress on my sweater. It doesn't really look like much. It's just a neck, a collar at the moment. So they are all my works in progress. At the moment, I have absolutely loads of dream knitting that I'm working on. I want to knit the Fergus stocks by Anna Freeberg, and I'm going to knit them as part of the Outlander Cal that my good friend Grace is hosting of Babel's Travelling Yarns, and I believe that's kicking off when the series kicks off, which I think is the 10th of September, but definitely go over and check out her podcast. Another thing actually, while I'm talking about Grace, so any of you guys who don't know Grace, who is Babel's Travelling Yarns and Babel's Travelling podcast, she has recently forayed into the world of hand dyeing yarn, and she last time I podcast, she contacted me, and I mentioned that my ball winder was broken, and she said she had a second one, so she was going to send me her spare ball winder, which was insanely kind of her. But not only did she send me her ball winder, she also sent me this. Hallelujah! Isn't it absolutely beautiful? I can't. So I opened this skein. It was much nicer. It was skeined up much nicer than what I just showed you there. But it is this beautiful colour. So this is one of Grace's initial kind of dyeing trials, if you will. And I think it's a success. So she sent this to me because I had been drooling over it when she had sent pictures on. This is completely my colours, all that purple. Can you see that purple, people? Look at the purple. It is beautiful. So it has like these kind of very light blues, and it goes into kind of darker tealy kind of blues, and then when it mixes here with the purple, it's just absolutely stunning. So beautiful. So I just saw on Instagram before I start recording that Grace is doing a shop update on the 1st of September, I believe, which is Friday, at 9 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, I think. But don't quote me on that. So definitely go over to her Instagram and check out when she's doing her update, because she is a very talented little lady and she has some gorgeous colorways. I've seen some pictures and they are beautiful. So this colorway, Laura, get to the point. This is the Autumn Sunset colorway, and it is a 75-25 wool nylon blend. I don't know what I'm going to knit with it. It's so pretty. I'm just going to wear it around me as a shoulder piece here. I absolutely love it. So that is all of my yarny goodness. From a perspective of my life update, there's been a lot going on just in general. I've been very busy with work. I have recently started I started a new job a couple months ago, and it's just been a bit hectic lately. So I've been very busy, and myself and Dave have been attempting to buy a house. So we are currently in the market for a premises. So a lot of time has been spent kind of talking and thinking about that. So haven't had much time for knitting per se, but I have done a bit of work on my knits, as I have shown. But other than that, it's been quite quiet. Nothing really too exciting going on, other than house buying and new jobs. So life stuff is stressful, but it's all going good. So thanks so much for watching again. If you like what you see, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. If you don't, I'm sure you're not here anymore, as I've said before. But thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate all your comments and feedback, and definitely leave anything down below, and I will see you all very soon.